recorded?
Hello. Conchi stinks.
I will not transcript that one.
Oh, yes, you will. Or else I'm going to contest. I'm going to tell your supervisor. You're leaving parts out.
Oh, I'll turn it off now. Okay. So, shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you please introduce yourself about your nationality, mother tongue, age, and educational background?
Okay. So, I'm Canadian. I actually have dual citizenship, Canadian and American, and soon I'll have Swedish. English is my mother tongue. I'm 32, and my background, so I did an undergrad in economics, a teaching degree, and now I'm doing a teaching degree master's, and then now I'm doing international comparative education at Stockholm University.
Okay. Have you ever attended the Swedish courses hosted by SFE or Folkuniversitetet?
Yes, both SFE and Folkuniversitetet.
Okay, so how long have you studied there?
So I've been in Sweden for 3.5 years, and I started in SFE pretty soon after. Then I stopped. Then I started again. Then I stopped. Then I did a course at Folkuniversitetet, which I paid for, and then I didn't do anything for a little while, and now I'm starting SFE again.
Okay.
And I've changed,
Yeah. Okay, so how long have you studied in Folkuniversitetet?
One course, which was twice a week, and I think it was maybe over 6 weeks or 8 weeks.
Okay. And why did you start to learn Swedish?
Because I live here. My girlfriend's Swedish, and that's why I moved to Sweden. And I just want to be able to speak it to integrate into the society a bit better. It's easy not to as an English speaker, and that's probably why I'm a bad Swedish speaker, but I want to be able to speak Swedish.
Okay. So what was your expectation of the learning outcome at the very beginning?
You mean what, the program or?
For yourself.
Well, I wanted to be a fluent speaker right away, and then I kept reassessing my goals. I kept making them, well, by next year I'll speak. By next year I'll speak. I'll do this and that, and it's been a lot of compromise. I think I haven't done well as a student, and there's a lot of reasons that I can blame it on, but I think it's mostly that I'm a bad student and a bit lazy. But some of them are of the quality of the SFE, I think.
Okay. And why did you choose to learn Swedish at Folkuniversitetet?
Word of mouth. So people said that it was high quality, and mostly that. Mostly people have said it was really good quality, and I was really not satisfied with SFE. I thought it was really low quality. I'm a teacher, so I don't know. I had expectations, and it was quite low, which we can talk about later. But I was really unsatisfied with SFE, so I wanted to try a new program, and it was really good, but it was expensive.
Okay. Yeah. What was the language of instruction in Folkuniversitetet?
Swedish.
Swedish, purely Swedish.
Yeah. I did level B2 plus. Now, it was a bit too hard for me, but I worked hard to stay in there. So I didn't understand everything, but it was purely Swedish. Maybe occasionally they say something in English, but almost all Swedish.
Okay, so how well did you understand your teacher?
I think a lot of it. I mean, a lot of the vocabulary was stuff I didn't know, but it was when she repeated it and said it in an easier way, I could understand most of it.
Okay.
Well, most, maybe like 75% or so.
Okay, so when you don't understand, it's just the teachers repeat it again in Swedish?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was one of the lower ones in the class, so I missed stuff, but I think other people got everything, so sometimes I wouldn't understand, and then if it was a task, then I'd ask privately and she'd tell me. But I think I understand most of it. There's a lot of words I missed, but the general idea.
Okay.
But because the class was a bit challenging for me, I missed some stuff.
Okay. And what were the main classroom activities and exercises?
In folk.
Folk.
There was a lot, so because it was a higher level class, I think it was more discussions and presentations, which was different than SFE. So there was a lot of kind of participation and speaking-based activities, which I liked because that's what's most important to me. I'd like to be able to write, but most important is speaking for me. And there was a lot of emphasis on speaking. So reading things out loud to work on your fluency. We did a lot of that. We did a lot of expressing things. So it's like talk about this in your own words, having discussions with another person, so reacting to someone. So there's different language skills, but a lot on. There was some writing and stuff also, but there was a lot of speaking. I think that was the emphasis.
Okay, so do you find it helpful?
Yeah. I would have liked to do more, but it was too expensive.
Okay, and so what were the main classroom activities in SFE, or compared to the folk theater? What is the difference?
So SFE, and I'm in it now, actually. The one right here, ABF. You probably have to blank that. But I'm in an SFE school now, and it's now mostly reading, grammar, fill in the blanks, and stuff about the test. SFE, what I notice is that it's all tasks about the test, the national test, which is different than Folk University. There, they focused on learning the language. SFE was just how to pass the test, and it's all worksheets. There's almost no spoken activities because that's not on the test. The test is all written stuff. So mostly written stuff or reading stuff, and it can be quite easy. I'm in 3D now, which I think is the equivalent of like B+ or something like that. There's different levels, but it's the last level of SFE, and after this is SAS. So I wrote a practice test. You have to write a practice test and pass a couple, like 3 different written activities to move on to SAS. And I did really well on it, which was my like 3rd week in the course because I'm new back, and I did well. But it's really low level. It's the same as like level C. So they're not challenging us; they're just preparing us for the test. So it's all written stuff, and it's not that hard.
Okay. And
sorry if I'm speaking too fast. Just tell me.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. And do you learn much about grammar rather than how a phrase is used in nature conversation in folk?
Folk University, we talked more about natural conversation and phrases, like the yode and stuff like that. It's like saying like vernacular, which is like the way people speak, as well as grammar. But they only talk about grammar in SFE. There's no like the ways people speak, like dialects. They don't do that. So yeah, they did do that in Folk University.
Yeah. So are you satisfied with what you have learned?
Or is it okay like this?
Yeah, I think better if I hold this.
I hold this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Are you satisfied with the balance between grammar and natural conversation in Folk University?
Yeah. That was perfect. It was just what I wanted. Like, the grammar in Swedish is not that hard for me as an English speaker. It's quite similar. Like the ets and ends stuff is a bit challenging, but mostly the grammar is pretty simple. It's mostly vocabulary, and I think I understand the grammar quite well. But in SFE, they just keep doing the grammar. That's all they do, and they're not really going to people's levels. It's bad teaching. I can recognize that as a teacher. It's just not. They're not teaching to what people need. They're just doing the same material no matter what.
Okay. Yeah. How was the interaction between you and your classmates?
In which one?
Like in Folk University.
Folk University. Yeah, it was good. I mean, there are other people who are motivated So they were. Everyone